There's a new Champions League record breaker in town, and who would have guessed that it would be the West Ham United flop, Sébastien Haller. The Ivorian, who signed with West Ham for a club record fee in 2019, never actually got to hit his peak for the London club. He only managed 10 goals in 2 years before he moved to his current club, Ajax Amsterdam. So far, Haller has been having the time of his life at Ajax, especially in the Champions League. In this video, we'll be telling you 10 things about the new kid on the UEFA block that you probably never knew about. Number 1. He could have played for France. Sébastien Haller, who currently plays for the Ivory Coast national team, could have actually played for Les Bleus. His father is French and he himself was even born in Paris. He was already on the path to the French senior team, having represented France at every level of the youth system. He was even in the squad that represented France in the 2011 FIFA Under-17 World Cup in Mexico. In 2020, he decided to jettison the France national team and go represent his mother's country in Africa, Ivory Coast. He has also said that he has absolutely no regrets picking Ivory Coast over France. Number 2. His nickname is the Cool Bird. If you watch Haller play, you will immediately notice how cool and calm he is. He hardly shouts or displays too much emotion on the pitch. Even the way he finishes his goals, he's also tremendously calm with that too. It's no wonder that former manager Niko Kovac gave him his nickname, the Cool Bird. Until now, that nickname reflects in his style of play and even in his celebrations. And even when the Cool Bird went a little bit out of character and inflicted a pretty bad injury on Norwich defender Christoph Zimmermann, he apologised. And no, he didn't just do the typical half-hearted apology thing on the pitch. After the game, he went to the opponent's dressing room to look for the defender to properly apologise. You just have to love Haller. Number 3. His idol is Thierry Henry. At this point, it's not very surprising that a young boy who grew up in Paris looked up to Thierry Henry, but Haller didn't just admire the former gunner, he loved him so much and wanted to pattern his game after Henry's. And right now, the similarities between both players may be arguable, but what is certain is that the Ivorian learned a whole lot from the Frenchman, especially in the finishing department. And surely, Henry will be proud to be the one whom such a talented striker looked up to growing up. Number 4. His parents did not want him to play football. Sébastien developed an interest in football at a very young age. He didn't have much to do as a kid, so he was always out playing football. But it was against his parents' wishes. His parents didn't exactly want him playing football. Among other reasons was the fact that he always broke vases, windows and glasses around the house as a kid with his ball. They knew he had good build for sport, but they wanted him to be an Olympian instead. Sébastien's mum registered him in judo martial art classes when he was just a kid. It was a bit difficult at the beginning, but little Sébastien insisted on his love for football, and his parents eventually gave in and they started supporting him. At age 9, Haller was already enrolled in a football academy in France, and the rest, as they say, is history. Number 5. He broke the transfer record for 2 clubs in a matter of 2 years. In 2019, West Ham United agreed to sign Sébastien Haller from Frankfurt. The deal was worth £45 million and that was a club record. Just 2 years later, even after a disappointing spell in England, Ajax still saw his potential and snatched him up for £18.8 million, and that was a club record fee for Ajax. Number 6. He was accidentally left out of the Europa League squad. After Ajax broke their club record to sign the Ivorian marksman, they committed a pretty big gaffe. They left out their record signing from their final Europa League squad for the knockout stages. The Amsterdam club did not even realise their error until they posted the squad list on Twitter, and fans reacted to the omission. The club spokesman then came out to admit that there was an error. It was a really embarrassing error. They ended up not fixing the error, and Haller missed out on European action with Ajax that season. Well, apparently, he was waiting for a grander European debut. Number 7. He's the first ever player to score in his first 6 Champions League games. The 2021-22 Champions League season is Haller's first ever UCL campaign, and he really did hit the ground running. He scored in every single one of his first Champions League games, and that is a feat nobody else has ever been able to achieve. Number 8. He's only the second ever player in the history of the Champions League to score 4 on his debut. From his European debut, Haller announced himself as a superstar. He scored 4 goals in his very first UEFA Champions League appearance against Sporting CP in September 21. With that, he became only the second player in the history of the Champions League to score 4 goals in a debut game. The only other person to achieve this feat is 3-time Ballon d'Or winner Marco van Basten. Coincidentally, he also played for Ajax, although he didn't achieve the record with the Dutch club. Number 9. He has equalled CR7. Sébastien Haller is currently having one of the greatest debut Champions League campaigns in history. With every game, the Ivorian keeps writing his name much clearer in history. Apart from being part of an Ajax team who went on to win every single group game this season, he also broke a number of records himself on his way. With his penalty goal against Sporting CP, he became only the second ever player in the history of the Champions League to score in the first 6 games of a season. The only other player to ever have achieved this is none other than Cristiano Ronaldo. He also joins Lionel Messi, Robert Lewandowski and Cristiano Ronaldo in the league of players who have scored double-figure goals in the group stage of a single UCL season. He has scored 10 this season and currently tops the goal-scoring chart. Number 10. More Champions League records. Listen, here we're just going to list the other records that the outstanding Sébastien Haller has made and broken in the Champions League this season. He's the quickest player to get to double figures in the history of the Champions League. Haller is the first player in the history of the UCL to score 5 goals in his first 2 appearances. With his 2 goals against Besiktas in November, Haller became the first player in history to score 9 goals in 5 consecutive Champions League games. He's also the first player in the history of the Champions League to score 10 goals in his first 6 games. Sébastien Haller is having one of the best Champions League debut seasons ever, and guess what? It's not even over yet. It just might end up being the greatest ever debut season any player has ever had in the Champions League.